700 East.
1 minute. We got 1 minute. Good timing.
All right, get back in here.
We are now live streaming.
I was looking on my car as I was getting in the package. Yeah. See?
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lancaster Town Board Work Session for May 5th, 2025. This evening, we're going to have two presenters as we start off our work session. If we could have Matt Dubois come up here for the minor subdivision at 0 Genesee Street. How you doing?
Hi, doing well, thanks. Good evening, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, members of the board. Yes, as you stated, I am here on behalf of our client, Mario Zagario, for 0 Genesee Street minor subdivision proposed. It would require a couple of variances as well, which I understand are obtained or sought at the next stage upon subdivision site review. That's what we will be. We've initially submitted the petition for an area variance at an earlier stage to Mr. Ficcione, and we're advised, nope, it's going to be a little later in the process.
Okay. The variances are for what?
That's just a couple of dimensional standards. It would be a narrower frontage than typical. It would typically require, I believe, excuse me, minimum of 300 feet if abutting a dedicated street, and you would be seeking closer to 125 to 140 per parcel, as well as the area, which would require normally 3 acres, and these would be closer to 1 acre each. So, as we discussed, as I discussed with Mr. Ficcione, and we'll discuss further as this progresses, these lots would actually be quite in keeping with the character of the surrounding area. If you look at a map, you see that the majority of the lots around it are residential lots, very similar in both area and frontage. So, it would actually be fairly in keeping with the neighborhood.
Okay, if you could tell us in general, what are you doing here?
Yep.
You know, and do you have any handouts or anything for the town board?
I do not at this point.
Okay.
We will be back here before you, I would hope in this, in which case we'll be happy to bring multiple handouts. But at this stage, it's a 3 acre lot currently, which would be broken into 3 more or less equal lots of about 1 acre with 100 feet of frontage, or 125 to 140 feet of frontage. It would be for 3 homes, 1 on each lot, which would otherwise meet all of the setbacks and dimensional requirements. The only dimensional requirements it wouldn't meet would be frontage and area.
I see. Where exactly? I know you said 0 Genesee. Where exactly in Genesee is this?
0 Genesee, it's up to the northeast. If I could point out, this again would have been a good to have a map here, but it's very near. What's the closest address? The closest address would be probably 6360 Genesee Street. Actual.
This is right in front of the
there a
golf
landmark?
course, east of Ransom Road.
Okay, by the golf course.
Right.
Yeah, so it's near the golf course, in front of it. Yes.
Fox Valley or Buffalo Country?
Buffalo Country.
Okay.
Good question.
Okay, town board, any other questions at this point? Again, there's not much here to go on, to tell you the truth, so
Right. I mean, we initially hoped to.
we prefer when you come in that you bring us plans so the town board knows what's going to be happening. If you could email those to us, that'd be great.
Okay.
Cindy, can they email those plans to you? Okay. So if you could get Cindy's email address, and we'll make sure the rest of the board gets a hold of those plans so we can see it. Anything else we need to ask at this point, Cindy, or?
I just want to verify, so that is a non-sewer area. So it is AR zoning, so it was not affected by the new code change of the AR requiring the 3 acre. So what they had done is originally purchased those lots years back, where they thought those lots could be divided into 1 acre lots with 100 foot of frontage. Over time, that zoning had changed, regardless of our code change, it would have required the same variances.
The same variances. Okay, so we're going to get a list of all those variances as well,
Yes.
so we can look at it. Matt, anything else?
Minor subdivision approval application will have all that information you had requested at this point. It'll be distributed accordingly to all those that receive those documents for comment.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Anything else at this point? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Submit our minor subdivision application forthwith and make sure everyone gets all the information they need.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Young from Newton Car Care?
Sure.
How you doing?
If you thought his presentation was not good, you're in trouble.
I didn't say it wasn't good, I just made
I just
recommendations
thought I'd
for the
tell you
future.
that.
Pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Visual.
I do believe we did submit a site plan and a floor plan. Matt, we got those? Everybody got those? It's light industrial zoned. About the only thing we're doing is we're changing the use. It is currently a machine shop, and we're going to convert it over to automotive repair. So whatever we need to do, we're here to kind of find out and put that in and get that done.
Okay. Questions?
Matt, what do they need?
Oh, you're moving location though, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, no, we're currently, Newton's Car Care is located at Stony and Genesee. And it's moving over to Walden Avenue, 4270. Or, that is the plan. Obviously, we have to get approval.
Okay, 4270 is by where on Walden?
Walden Avenue, it's about 3 or 4 doors down from Repa's. You got the wholesale, you got the new building, which I don't know what is, and it's the next building.
Matt, anything?
Well, the proposal is more or less 2 phases. We're going to move an auto repair facility into an existing machine shop, so we'll go through the special use process, and then any site changes and/or amendments will go in front of the planning board for a site plan approval. So it's a change in the intensity of use of this property. We're currently going to be taking one tenant, sliding them more to the rear of the building, as I understand it. They're going to remain in a small
Long term,
portion.
he might not be there in 2 or 3 years. He's in
Right.
the process of
And
retiring.
they're also going to incorporate this auto repair facility, which is going to impact the property. So we'll go through process of public hearing, special use, as I said, any site changes, we'll go through site plan review and approval and move forward.
Okay, town board, any questions? Cindy, anything else that we've discussed?
Question would be for Matt is that in the special use permit process, that it goes to the planning board to refer back to the town board, so that part of the process would not.
In a perfect world, it's concurrent with a site plan review. Not sure how fast the applicant is willing to move forward with any site plan changes, but right now it's just a change in use.
Yeah, we're not planning on
So,
changing the
you know,
site, so
we'll get
hopefully that
the
moves it
application
faster.
into the clerk's office, we'll do the public hearings. At whatever point moves forward where it becomes an amendment to that site is when we get in front of our planning board.
Okay. All right, very good, go ahead.
Well, no, I'm not that sharp. I need to follow. What's the next step for me?
Special use permit application at the town clerk's office,
Okay, special.
which I believe we have, and it's been distributed, and I'm working on comments if they're not already out.
Okay, we
Perfect, all right,
can take care of that.
have a good night.
What's going on in the town, just because I...
Cinco de Mayo.
What?
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. There's a new Mexican restaurant in the village, Papi Grande's Food.
Okay,
The
that...
only reason why it's happening.
I know.
Yeah, have one for me too.
Matt, I've been living it. I've been living it.
Okay, that concludes our presentations for the evening. What we're going to do now is go around to our department heads and see what's going on in the different departments. So we're going to start up front tonight. Diane, what do you got?
Not too much, everything's moving forward as usual. The clerk and the tax office, we're still collecting. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. Emily?
I don't have anything tonight, thank you.
Okay. Carmen?
I don't know if you guys are at Westwood, playground's up. I'd like to thank Highway, they helped get the stone. We're hoping that weather permitting, that we'll have it finished by the end of the week, but it's probably gonna go into next week if we get the rain with the rubber. They mix it all by hand and put it around there, so that's gonna be a fun thing for them. Walls and ponds, they're supposed to start hopefully next week too, depending on weather. Street lights. The lady that came up here about the street light did get a price. It is over 5,000. It is dark there. They do got to run the wires. I want to know when we do subdivisions, if there's any way we can maybe put it into the town code where streetlights have to be a certain amount of feet apart, because there is a big gap between this area where it is needed. But if we have something in our rules for subdivisions that streetlights have to be every 200 feet from where the subdivision comes in to where it exits, so we don't have to worry about dishing that out. And a warranty, longer warranty than 2 years, because what's that subdivision that we just got? Hidden Metals, just a little over 2 years, 2-year warranty. Now we got to pay to have this street light fixed because it's out. We can get maybe a little bit longer.
Can I ask you a question? Does that go from when the power is turned on, or would they put up the light? Because they didn't get their power turned on for quite a while over there. Is it?
It's when, it's the time the town accepts the light.
But now when the power goes on?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, could you look into that a little bit? Because again, they kept complaining their lights weren't
Yeah,
turned
but
on.
the town typically won't accept the light until it's on.
Oh, okay.
But it could be, but what I'm saying is they can turn the light on and not get the paperwork in for 2-3 months afterwards, in which case it goes from the time the town accepts it.
Yeah, but in this case, I think the lights were up there and they were never turned on by NYSEG. So that people were complaining. So we might want to look at the dates to make sure if it's still within the 2 years or not, of when the lights were turned on. Okay.
And then,
Duration of the maintenance bond could be adjusted as well. Should be a maintenance bond with all these
2 years.
public
That's what it is right now.
improvements, right?
It's 2
So
years,
they-
yeah.
we could.
So we can adjust that to,
That would be a code change.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Can you write that down, Emily? and
Yeah.
Discuss that?
The other thing is that when they
Jennifer?
do the lights, they're supposed to be providing, I forget what the number is, 2 or 3 extra poles. So,
Yeah.
out at Highway.
I gotta find out, I'm waiting for P&C or G, whatever they are,
Yeah.
to let me know what was wrong with this light,
Okay.
so.
So I'm just thinking for the new one, there should be poles ready and available. You should be paying.
Yeah, no, it's the lights out, so I don't know if it's a fuse wiring issue.
No, no, when you're talking about an avian, you're talking about putting a light.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we do have an extra pole.
Okay, right.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's still gonna cost, I mean, they gotta go underground with the wiring, connect to the other one, so that's where the cost
Mm-hmm. Alright.
is. On the park side, we're just trying to get all the grass and diamonds ready to go. Opening day is supposed to be this weekend. Our diamonds currently are, from the last couple of rains, we're underwater. The diamond crew's doing a great job, it's just, can't keep up with this rain. Got everything cut once, can't even tell it's cut. I got the crews out on the subdivisions, we're trying to get all the circles done, entrances done. We're not gonna get in the retention ponds until it dries out. Summer happenings should be out soon, and we're gonna have interviews Wednesday and Thursday for the part-time jobs at the rec.
Okay.
Any questions?
Thank you very much. Chief, you want to come up?
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, I'm going to take a couple minutes to go through this because I got a few things for you.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with the monthly report for dog control. For the month of April, they report 26 complaints and calls received, and 26 calls followed up on. They issued 16 compliance notices, 3 appearance tickets, 2 bite reports were filed, 2 dangerous dog complaints they investigated, 3 dogs were redeemed, and 1 dog was adopted. I believe in the meeting this morning, Mike said that their efforts to go door to door to make sure people are within compliance as far as their licensing has proved to be very effective. Diane noted that we're starting to see more licenses being renewed that typically may not have been. So their efforts have been noticed.
Great.
So I just passed my 2-year window of time that I've been chief of police for the town of Lancaster, and it's been an honor and a privilege. What I'd like to ask tonight is to talk to about a couple of our resolutions. First, I'd like to speak on behalf of Resolution 15, the bond improvement for the police training facility. One of the goals that I had when I became the chief was to see the range and training and a possible training facility built for our officers to be able to use and to have better training. That is something that, you know, we've recently met with the board, some of the board members, with Ed. We took a drive over to the town of Amherst to view their police training facility. And tonight we're moving forward with the bond resolution to allow us to get that started. It's going to be able to check one big check off of our bucket list, and it's going to provide an opportunity for the police department and the police officers of this town to have the best possible training and the best possible training facility that can be provided for them. I appreciate that. The second thing I'd like to speak on tonight is the speed trailer is being put back into service. It's been up for approximately 2 weeks now. It typically goes away over the winter so the salt doesn't degrade it and make any damage. First survey we've conducted was on Pleasant View, as typically the complaints come in as soon as the weather starts getting nice of speeding and high traffic. So that was our first survey that has been completed. Currently, based on a citizen complaint that came to your office, Mr. Supervisor, we have that trailer sitting on Columbia trying to assess the kind of speed and the amount of vehicle traffic that are currently being traveled on Columbia Avenue. See if we can make a determination if anything more than routine enforcement will help control some of the issues that are being described there. My hope is to have a quarterly report for you for this second quarter of the year in the July first meeting of July. The last thing I'd like to speak to you about tonight is a very important topic. I am asking this board to consider doing something that's going to be a historic event. I'm asking you to promote the first assistant chief of police within the town of Lancaster history. What I am asking for you to do is to give us an opportunity to strengthen the command structure of the department by adding a designated second in command within our ranks, and it's also going to add another layer to the administration. There are times when I am unavailable, I'm out of town, and we need somebody that can be the designated go-to person for the police department that can answer on my behalf if I am unavailable. What I am asking for tonight is for you to promote Captain John Zeiters, the position of Assistant Chief of Police. He will be the first person in the town history to take that position if granted by you tonight. With the additional training that he is expected to receive when he attends the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia later this year, we are anticipating the level of leadership to be taken to the next level within this department. His educational background, training, and his dedication to this department warrants you all saying yes to this promotion, and I ask for you to strongly consider that tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. John?
Oh, John. The other John.
Yeah. Putting him on the spot already.
Evening, town board. Short and sweet. Over the past few weeks, our department has been busy replacing the DIs on the roads that we're going to be paving this season. Before we started the milling, we started milling this week on Park Edge. We also worked inside Westwood Park, setting grades and grading out stone for the Parks Department, helping Carmen out with the playground. We're going to be paving next week. I want to thank the Village of Depew and the DPW, Village DPW, for sending trucks to give us a hand today. And as I told everyone in drainage, we're going to square up that Running Brook project probably in about 2 weeks, and we're going to get it hydro-seeded for the residents. Thanks.
Thank you. Ron Rosler?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm happy to report that after several months, we've reached an agreement with Lancaster Volunteer Ambulance Corps. So I would ask for your support on resolution number 10 to officially accept and sign that agreement. I think it is going to be good for the town, it's going to be good for LVAC, and most importantly for the residents, and that to have a top-notch pre-hospital care provider and transportation. So I ask for your support on that.
Thank you.
Any questions? Great, thanks.
Okay. Matt?
Yes, as I reported again this morning, we're ramping up at the beginning of the construction season, so we're expecting a full-on deluge of the workload, primarily for reconstruction, accessory structures, things of that nature. As you can see with the activities downtown here, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of new construction moving forward, so we're actively servicing those permits. Our stormwater report was provided for the month of April. And again, we always look forward to working with other departments to assist and or help manage your daily workings.
Okay. Thank you. Ed?
Nothing real, just follow up on the chief. We do have a meeting next week out at the police firing range to do a walkthrough and start that planning process to get underway. The pedestrian bridge at Enchanted Forest South is installed and open.
Beautiful.
We did that last week.
Nice.
Good, great.
One off the list.
Okay, that's it for the department heads, right? Nobody else is, okay. All right, very good. Oh,
Never had mentioned, we are in the process to work with Highway on blacktopping the road in Westwood like that near the trail.
okay, good. Okay, at this point, why don't we run through the resolutions? And then we're gonna probably have time to take a little break before we get started. Let me bring up two things. Tomorrow, provided everybody votes for the agreement with LVAC, we're going to have a signing ceremony right here in this room. To me, it warrants, it's that important of an agreement that we ask the media if they want to come, and if not, whether they come or not. Love to get some pictures with you guys. It's that important of an event, so we're going to do that right here at 10 a.m. On Wednesday, we're going to have a shovel ceremony, ribbon cutting at the pond, Walden Pond Park for the new turf field. We'll go forward with that. Again, we're going to have quite a few people showing up for that. I believe somebody from the congressman's office is going to be there. State legislatures are going to be there. The mayors will be there from the villages, and perhaps some other people from the school district will be there as well. That should be quite an event. Other big things going on. We'll get to the playground when we get to the playground, and it's going to be completed. We should also have a ribbon cutting ceremony for that as well. Again, another big event going on in the town. All right, so why don't we run through the resolutions real quick? I got the first one, just to affirm the minutes of the regular meeting. I got number 2, approve audited claims. Councilmember Dickman, number 3.
Building permit applications.
Number 4 is authorize the supervisor to execute cultural support agreement with Hull House. Councilmember Burkhart, number 5.
Purchasing a mulcher for highway.
Okay, number 6, authorized change order to A-Turf, turf field in Walden Pond Park. 7 is authorized change order to Denzak Recreation Design and Supply Incorporated, Westwood Park Playground. Number 8, Councilmember Burkhart.
Authorized permit private improvements, concrete applied technologies.
Okay, number 9 is to update the fee schedule. 10 is authorized agreement with Lancaster Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Councilmember Dickman, number 11.
11 is a special use permit for a home occupation, 5898 Broadway.
And 12?
And 12 is another special use permit application renewal for 30 Woodgate Drive for a hair salon.
Great. Councilmember Burkhart, 13.
Authorized salvage yard license, AJ's Auto.
Okay. 14 will be adopt highway department part-time seasonal employees. 15, we're doing our bond resolution improvements tonight. The first one is for the Police Training Academy. The next one, 16, is the highway garage truck wash. 17 is going to be increase and improve facilities of Consolidated Water District. We had a bond before for Cemetery Road. We're going to increase the amount on that. Number 18 is a negative, secret negative deck for ESG Properties of Western New York. Councilmember Studley, number 19, please.
This is to approve budget transfers from the general fund to capital projects regarding paving.
Okay, number 20 is appoint Captain Zeiters as Assistant Chief of Police. 21, Councilmember Schroeder.
Authorizing our subscription for Tree Keeper.
Okay, 22, authorized transfers in the budget. 23 is approved budget transfers for police vehicle to building and maintenance department. 24 is authorized supervisor execute agreement, GAR Associate regarding professional services. We will have a suspended resolution to appoint a new assistant to the supervisor after we're done with the regular resolutions. Why don't we take a 5-minute break, unless there's anything else we need to discuss, and we'll get started right at 7 o'clock. Thank you. Okay, if anybody's here for DG Market tonight, basically there is a public hearing scheduled. However, we did not receive the environmental impact statement, and therefore we are going to open and suspend that? No, adjourn that at the same time. So if you're here for DG Markets, we're not going to be discussing that tonight. You are more than welcome to wait till all the resolutions are done, at the normal time when people can get up and speak after the resolutions and the communications are done. But we're going to put that off till sometime in the future. I don't have an exact date for you now, because until we get that EIS statement, environmental impact statement, we can't move forward. There's nothing to discuss. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Fresh air. We continue to be live streamed.
Last week, there was a gentleman here that...
Yeah, he was in today, looking about 3 hours.
Ransom Rose?
Ransom, yeah.
Do you have any information on that gentleman?
Through the clerk's office, and any information that is provided is verification process.
Clerk's office.
We can get that.
Do you know much about
Pretty much.
because I'm working...
Yeah, we got to talk about
I've got...
He's trying to get it in the morning.
Do you know, remember when they took the green belt for that? That's what it is. So we're working with the solar panels on that land.
It's a little bit further west. A little west from this side.
Yes, a little bit west, but if we're going to use 22 acres out of 32 for solar, that's a 10 grand spare. Why not?
Diane is going to get you.
Here's the application. If you have any questions, call Donna tomorrow in my office. My number. Especially for
I'd like to talk to that person and put this forward, so that's something that can get solar
He's looking for information on the application.
I assume you're someone else.
Well, you just have to fill it out. Information.
How you doing? Good, how are you? Good.
Oh, hi, Holly.
Yeah.
No, it's a well.
They went to Bob for the month.
The clerk's office stairs up, and probably
What you're requesting is a record. Don't request. There'll be questions to answer. Oil, law, states, you're requesting a
I'm in surgery Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay, so the best thing would be to request to may I speak when it comes to speak about I wanted to thank Diane's office and I'm glad you should file this thick of historical information. They bring. Oh, okay. Ask you first. Is that okay?
Okay. All right, very good.
Sit down, just stand right there.
Ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lancaster Town Board meeting for May 5th, 2025. This evening, we have Diane, roll call, Diane, please.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Here.
Councilmember Dickman.
Here.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Here.
Councilmember Studley.
Here.
Supervisor Leary.
Here. The pledge and invocation will be done by Councilmember Burkhart. Please stand. Please remain standing.
Lord, as we begin this meeting, we ask for your wisdom and guidance. May we approach our task with diligence, integrity, and a spirit of unity. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, this evening we're going to have 24 pre-filed resolutions, one suspended resolution, one public hearing, which we already talked about. We're going to open and adjourn that. We'll have one executive session for personnel reasons. The public hearing was the public scoping positive declaration for DG Markets, but again, they haven't turned in their EIS, so we're going to open and adjourn that. And we'll close in memory tonight of Dennis Priscuda. At this point in time, before we get into the actual resolutions, because at 7:05 we got to open and adjourn that meeting, we're going to jump ahead to the reports from the town board members. Any town board members have any reports at this point they want to talk about?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So the last couple of weeks have been very busy. On Friday, we finally submitted for the New York State Municipal Parks and Recreation Grant to overhaul Kiza Pool. And that would include the decking, the resurfacing of the main pool, the resurfacing of the wading pool, the pump systems and telechlor systems. I mean, this pool was built in 1961. The last time any work was done to it was 1989, and it's sorely lacking in updates, as well as the ADA chair is just sad. But I did want to extend my thanks to Diane's office for helping me secure a lot of that information, and Ed, of course, who is always on the other end of the phone with me when I'm working on grants, and also Mary Jo Monin, our town historian, for providing me a lot of information I needed for the research for this grant. So.
Great. Any other reports from any of the other town board members? Okay. I got 7:03. I'm not going to get into people talking about the pre-filed resolutions. Couple things going on in the town that I want to bring to everybody's attention. I mentioned it in the work session, but once the LVAC agreement gets approved, if it gets approved tomorrow, we're going to have a signing ceremony right here at Town Hall at 10 o'clock. Again, as I said previously, it's a big deal. It's a big agreement, very important to the safety of our residents here in the town of Lancaster. On Wednesday, we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony, shovel ceremony at Walden Pond Park. We are putting in a new turf field complex at Walden Pond Park, so that'll be the kickoff for that. So that'll be happening. We should have quite a few people coming in for that one. Again, they hope to get done sometime, in September, Ed, or before that?
Sometimes.
So, yeah, we want to get that started as quickly as possible, so if it's, so it's ready for football season and the fall sports. It's be a multi-use facility there, and so it should be pretty good. We've been working with the football group, soccer, lacrosse, and softball, and we've had lots of meetings to get it in, to a position where it's going to meet their needs, and it's going to be a big, accomplishment for the town of Lancaster to have that turf field, be able to play longer into the year, and we don't have to worry about the weather conditions so much. It should also be cost-effective to have it in there, and, with all the kids we have in here, although it's not just for children, hopefully we can have, there'll be some adult activities there as well, whether it's touch football, other softball games, adult soccer, whatever. All that will be scheduled out by the town of Lancaster scheduling guru, Bob Giroux, and we're looking forward to that as well. Okay.
Couldn't help myself, it was fun after.
Exactly. Do we have a Cinco de, never mind. Okay, at this point in time, can I have a motion to go into the public hearing?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to the authority set forth in Chapter 400 zoning, Article 14, Administration and Enforcement, Section 400-75, Site Plan Review of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, seeker shall be completed for all site plan projects as required by law and pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster on the 7th day of April 2025. The Town Board will hold a public hearing on the 5th day of May, today, at 7:05 p.m. local time here at Town Hall for the purposes of reviewing the information submitted in response to the positive declaration for the project at 3972 Walden Avenue, SBL number 94.17-1-48. Copies of the positive declaration of environmental significance can be reviewed at Town Hall. Okay, at this point in time, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn this meeting until a future date. The future date to be determined once the EIS is made available to us. It hasn't been made available. An EIS is basically the environmental impact statements, often addressed, that address the local areas and projects that are tangible and potentially well-known, making them widely available and accessible. The company did not turn those into us, so there's nothing to talk about as far as this public hearing goes. So can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Moved.
Second.
Okay, on the roll?
Who first? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, so that public hearing is adjourned. All right, now we're going to move on to the pre-filed resolutions and the suspended resolution. So at this point in time, the town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any pre-filed or proposed suspended resolution for a total period of 30 minutes. Please raise your hand and be recognized by me. Give your name and address to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided. Speak once for 5 minutes or less, unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit. Any unruly activity, including yelling or name-calling, will result in expulsion from the meeting. Do we have anybody who wants to address the town board on any of the pre-filed resolutions or the suspended resolution, which is a resolution to name a new assistant to the supervisor, which will be coming up after the pre-filed resolutions? Okay. Just raise your hand. I don't see any hands raised at this point. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to the pre-filed resolutions. Okay, the first pre-filed resolution is mine. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held on April 21st, 2025 be and are hereby affirmed. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Digman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 2. Be it resolved that the following audited claims be and are hereby ordered, paid from the respective accounts as per abstract to be filed in the office of the town clerk by the supervisor's office, to wit, check run number 05052025. Total amount hereby authorized to be paid, $306,228.44. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Dickman, number 3, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Honorable Board, I offer Resolution 3 for adoption. Resolved that the following building permit applications be and are hereby reaffirmed. It's been a busy month. There's 66 in the town, 29 in the village, for a total of 95. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the building permit applications coded CSW for conditional sidewalk waiver be and are hereby reaffirmed with a waiver of the town ordinance required for sidewalks. However, the waiver is granted upon the express condition that the town of Lancaster at any future date reserves the right to order sidewalk installation at the expense of the owner.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 4. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute on behalf of the town of Lancaster an agreement of cultural support between the town and the Whole House Foundation in order to provide financial assistance for the support of this historic edifice located at 5976 Genesee Street within the town. The amount of $5,000 is appropriated in the town of Lancaster's 2025 other culture and recreation contractual expenses budget, account number A7989.449. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who had the second?
Beaconing.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Burkhardt, number 5, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I'm offering Resolution 5 for adoption. Whereas John Pilato, Highway Superintendent of the Town of Lancaster, by letter dated April 14th, 2025, has requested the purchase of a drum mulcher 2-speed 72-inch with a 36-month, 1,500-hour full extended warranty for the use by the Highway Department. And whereas the above referenced drum mulcher 2-speed 72-inch will be purchased as per the New York State OGS through authorized dealer Clark Equipment Company, DBA Bobcat, West Fargo, North Dakota, which will eliminate the need for competitive bidding pursuant to Section 103 of General Municipal Law. And whereas the cost for a drum mulcher is $32,202.42, which will be paid for out of the following budget lines: $11,000 from the Highway Equipment Bond, $17,400 budget appropriation to increase the account from funds received from auction in the prior year, $3,802.48 will come from the trucks and related equipment. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the purchase of a drum mulcher with 36-month, 1,500-hour full extended warranty purchased as per the New York State OGS through authorized dealer Clark Equipment Company.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 6. Whereas A-Turf Incorporated, 55 Earnhardt Drive, Williamsville, New York, the company awarded the contract for the construction of the turf field at Walden Ponds. Project number 06168HG10 has submitted change order number 1 to increase the amount by $245,765 to the town board for their approval based on the description previously provided to the town board. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves change order number 1 from A-Turf Incorporated with respect to the outline description provided to the town board. That description is: install 2 inches of crusher run stone to establish subgrade per design elevations. Number 2, install number 2 clean crushed drainage stone layer for retention below standard turf drainage profile. Number 3, drainage outside of fields and bio retention areas. Number 4, additional 2,832 square feet of a 4-inch concrete sidewalk. The change order number one, the original contract price is $1,965,922. The increase in change order number one is $245,765. And the new contract sum is $2,211,687. Do I have, be it further resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby authorized to execute this change order on behalf of the town of Lancaster. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question, and I'm going to tell you, obviously, the drainage is a huge part of this field that's going to be going in there, so we got to make sure the drainage is all done properly. My understanding is perhaps in the past, some towns didn't get the drainage right, which kind of screwed up the fields in the future. Fair to say that, Ed?
Yep.
Okay. And then we're also going to have square feet of 4 feet of concrete sidewalk going around the gate. Yeah, I'm sorry, the whole field. Yeah, and there'll be a fence on there too, but we want the sidewalk on there. So again, you know, people want to come and walk around on the sidewalk. It's something else that people can do. We felt that was necessary and gives, you know, a place for people to, like I said, exercise as well. And anybody else? Questions? No? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 7. Whereas Denzak Recreational Design and Supply Incorporated, the contractor for the inclusive playground at Westwood Park, has submitted change order number 1 to increase the amount by $6,061 for additional rubber required for the turn-down edge on the playground to the town board for their approval. And now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves change order number 1 from Denzak Recreation Design and Supply Incorporated with respect to the description outlined previously provided to the town board. Description of change order number 1, add additional rubber required for the turn-down edge for the Westwood Park inclusive playground. Change order number 1, original contract price is $336,947. This increase of $6,061 makes the new contract sum $343,008. Be it further resolved that the supervisor be and is hereby authorized to execute this change order on behalf of the town of Lancaster. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question, and this change order, the way this thing was originally planned out, there was going to be concrete going around the playground. We went and took a look at some other facilities where they didn't have the concrete. We didn't want the concrete there. People are going to fall down, get hurt, trip, whatever. We didn't want that. So we're just basically going to have the rubber equal with the grass. We'll put in some mulch or whatever so anybody mowing the lawn doesn't get too close and cut it up, which was a concern of the company. But we're actually saving a lot more money than we're paying here because we don't got to pay for all that concrete to go in there. Okay. On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay, Councilmember Burkhart, number 8, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I'm offering Resolution 8 for adoption. Whereas Michael Salvador, Concrete Applied Technologies Corp., DBA Catco, on Town Line Road in Alden, has applied to the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster for permit for private improvements upon real property in the Town of Lancaster within Town Line Road. And whereas the Town Engineer of the Town of Lancaster has certified on the following permit application that he has reviewed the improvement plans and permit application for the installation of the private improvements requested and that they conform to the ordinances of the Town of Lancaster. Now therefore be it resolved that the private improvement permit application number 864 for Town Line Road, Alden, which is a permit for private improvements for construction of a 12,000 square foot cold storage warehouse addition to the western end of the existing 10,000 square foot metal building. Site improvements include installation of stormwater management system consisting of a roof drain collection system with pipe connection to a new 13,300 square foot dry detention basin. The proposed detention basin discharges to the existing on-site stormwater collection system.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 9, whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster has realized the need for an updated fee schedule, and whereas copies of the updated fee schedule will be available in the Town Clerk's office and online at www.lancasterny.gov, and whereas the Town Board has given due review and consideration to the adoption of the updated fee schedule and finds it to be in the best interest to adopt said schedule, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby adopts the fee schedule effective immediately. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 10. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the agreement as presented between the Town of Lancaster and the Lancaster Volunteer Ambulance Corps Incorporated for the purpose of operating, conducting, and maintaining an emergency ambulance service for the residents of the Town of Lancaster, and hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute this agreement with approval from the town attorney, which will cover the period July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay, guys. We got an agreement in place. You guys have a minute, because some of the board members can't make it tomorrow. Can we get a quick picture with everybody who's here from both? Okay, great. You guys want to step up for a picture? Sure. And who's going to take the picture? Diane, could you take a picture with my phone? Ron, you want to come up here too, please? I'm trying.
I think we're
Keep it in your desk. Go ahead, guys, jump in there somewhere. Yeah, we'll just all get together. Can you get some more? For now. Because you gotta cut some.
Squeeze it a little bit.
Yeah, cut them out on the other side of there.
Time's up. Corner.
Okay, great.
She really does.
Yeah.
Come on, Diane, you're slowing things down. Okay, resolution number 11, Councilmember Dickman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Honorable Board, I offer resolutions 11 and 12 for their adoption. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster does hereby grant the renewal of the special use permit to Joshua Strell for the home occupation of a seasonal rental business office on the premise located at 5898 Broadway, Lancaster, New York, upon the terms and conditions set forth in the zoning ordinance for the period beginning May 1st, 2025, and ending April 30th, 2027, and that the applicant will continue in compliance with conditions set forth in the Code of the Town of Lancaster if the applicant continues to engage in the home occupation on the premise, and any additional conditions listed herein, and there are the original 6 conditions from last time.
And do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Resolution number 12. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster does hereby grant the special use permit renewal to Tanya Bradford for a home occupation of a hair salon on the premise located at 30 Woodgate Drive in Lancaster, New York, upon the terms and conditions set forth in the zoning ordinance for the period beginning May 4th, 2025, and ending May 3rd, 2027, and that the applicant will continue in compliance with conditions set forth in the Code of the Town of Lancaster and to any additional conditions listed here, and as long as the applicant continues to engage in this home occupation on the premise. And again, there's the 6 original conditions on this.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 13, Councilmember Burkhart, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I'm offering Resolution 13 for adoption. Now therefore be resolved that J. Renkus and Sons, Inc., DBA AJ's Auto LLC, 955 Ransom Road, Lancaster, New York, be and is hereby authorized to conduct a salvage yard on premises situated on Ransom Road in Lancaster for the period January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025, in strict conformance with the application of the petitioner as filed in the office of the town clerk.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 14, whereas John Pilato, Highway Superintendent for the Town of Lancaster, by letters dated April 24th, 2025, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to the position of part-time temporary seasonal in the Highway Department for the spring-summer season of 2025. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following individuals are hereby appointed to the following part-time temporary seasonal position in the Highway Department for a period not to exceed 5 months, and that this being a part-time position provides no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time employees. Appointment is conditional upon successful completion of all pre-employment checks and appropriate paperwork filed with the supervisor's office, and they include Jack
Perugia.
I knew that. Perugia, Ryan Len, Jack Harrington, Cooper Bazooka, and Ashton Gell. They're all going to be laborers. Everybody except for Ashton will be making $17 an hour. Ashton will be at $16.50 an hour. The effect date is May 19th, 2025. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 15. These are bond resolutions. I'm going to read the summary of the bond resolution. These are all posted online if you want any additional information. The first one is a bond resolution dated May 5th, 2025 of the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster, Town of Lancaster, Erie County, New York, the town authorizing a capital improvements project consisting of the reconstruction of and construction of improvements to the town's police training facility at an estimated maximum cost of $2 million and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $2 million pursuant to the local finance law to finance such purpose, such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and/or local funds received in delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the town supervisor. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 16, a bond resolution dated May 5th, 2025 of the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster in Erie County, New York, authorizing a capital improvements project consisting of the reconstruction of and construction of improvements to the town's highway garage, primarily the construction of a truck wash at an estimated maximum cost of $750,000 and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $750,000 pursuant to the local finance law to finance such purpose, such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and/or local funds received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the town supervisor. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Okay, this one I'm going to have to read a lot more of it. Okay. Resolution number 17, whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster, herein called Town Board and Town respectively in the County of Erie, New York, has pursuant to town law created the Town of Lancaster Consolidated Water District, and whereas in March 2023, the Town Board directed William Shutt and Associates, P.C., competent engineers licensed in New York, to prepare a map, plan, and report for a water system capital improvements project within the district, and whereas in May of 2023, the town approved the original capital improvements project through Town Law Section 202-B proceedings and other resolutions, and adopted a bond resolution on May 15, 2023, and whereas the cost of such project increased from $3,450,000 to a current total of $4,750,000 due to a modification to the scope of the project and an increase in the cost of construction materials and labor for the project, and whereas the town has directed William Shutt and Associates, P.C., competent engineers, to prepare an addendum to the map, plan, and report to reflect the revised cost of the project, whereas such addendum amends a certain prior map, plan, and report dated March 2023 for the purpose of modifying the scope of the project, whereas such water system capital improvements project will generally consist of the installation of approximately 9,300 linear feet of water main along various roads in the town, along with the installation of fire hydrants, valves, and appurtenances, as well as other improvements as more fully identified in or contemplated by such map plan and reported prepared by William Shutt and Associates and referred to above of the foregoing to include all necessary site work, equipment, apparatus, and other improvements and cost incidental and in connection with the financing thereof. Whereas pursuant to the direction of the town, the engineer has completed and filed with the town board such a revised map, plan, and report for such increase and improvement of facilities of the district, and has estimated the total cost to be a maximum of $4,750,000. Said cost to be financed by the issuance of serial bonds of the town in an increased aggregate principal amount not to exceed the $4,750,000. Whereas such revised map, plan, or report has not been modified in any material respect other than as described above. Now therefore be it ordered that a meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster will be held at the Town Hall here at 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, on June 2nd, 2025 at 7:05 p.m. or shortly thereafter, prevailing time, to consider said increase in improvements of facility of the district and to hear all persons interested in the project thereof concerning the same or for such other action on the part of the town board with relations thereto and may be required by law. Be it further ordered that the expense of said increase and improvement of the facilities shall be financed by the issuance of the serial bonds of the town not to exceed the $4,750,000 to be offset by any federal, state, county, and/or local funds received, and unless paid from other sources or charges, the cost of said increase in improvements of facilities shall be paid by the assessment, levy, and collection of special assessments from the several lots and parcels of land within the district, which the town board shall determine and specify be specifically benefited thereby, so much upon and from each as shall be in the proportion to the amount of benefit conferred upon the same, to pay the principal of and interest on said bonds that the same shall become due and payable, except if it's provided by law. Be it further ordered that this resolution shall constitute the declaration of the town's official intent to reimburse the expenditures of said increase in improvements of facilities with the procedures of the bonds, notes, or other obligations. Be it further ordered that the town clerk publish at least once in each newspaper designated as the official newspaper of the town for such a publication and post on the signboard of the town maintained pursuant to subdivision 6 of section 30 of the town law, a copy of this order certified by said town clerk, the first publication thereof, and said posting to be not less than 10 nor more than 20 days before the date of such public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 18, whereas the town board is considering the proposed continued operation of the existing soil recycling facility submitted by, it lost my place for a minute, by Kathleen Rogers, ESG Properties of Western New York, applicant on a 5.8 acre parcel located at 6125 Genesee Street, SBL number 95-00-1-1 in the town of Lancaster. And whereas the town of Lancaster Planning Board has reviewed the environmental impact of this project pursuant to seeker and recommended a negative declaration, whereas the town board has duly considered the plans for the project using the short environmental assessment forward, the criteria for determining significance set forth in 6 NYCRR section 617.7C of the estate seeker regulations and such other information deemed appropriate, including the recommendations of the Town of Lancaster Planning Board, whereas the Town Board has identified the relevant areas of environmental concern, has taken a hard look at these areas and made a reasoned elaboration of the basis for its determination, and whereas the proposed action has been labeled a Type 1 action under seeker, now therefore be it resolved by the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster, and we have 6 different conditions that are on there, which I believe are the same as before. And do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 19, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I move resolution number 19 for its adoption, whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster has identified the need for paving improvements on Lake Avenue, Fortin Drive, Westwood Park, and Heritage Trail. And whereas the town desires to establish 4 separate capital projects within the Capital Projects Fund to manage these improvements, designated as follows. Project 90240, Lake Avenue Paving Project, Project 90241, Fortin Drive Paving Project, Project 90242, Westwood Park Paving Project, and Project 90243, Heritage Trail Paving Project. And whereas the funding for these capital projects will be provided through an interfund transfer from the general fund to the Capital Projects Fund. And whereas the town board has determined that $860,000 of signed unappropriated fund balance in the general fund is available and appropriate for this purpose. And whereas the town board seeks to authorize the necessary budget transfers to facilitate the funding of these projects. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the town board of the Town of Lancaster as follows. Number 1, the establishment of the following capital projects in the Capital Projects Fund is hereby authorized. I listed those above with the project numbers. Number 2, the town board hereby appropriates $860,000 from the assigned unappropriated fund balance in the general fund to accommodate an interfund transfer to the Capital Projects Fund for the aforementioned projects. Number 3, the following budget transfers are hereby authorized. So we're going to increase the transfer to other funds by $860,000, increase transfer from general fund by $295,000, increase transfer from general fund. These are different. Oh no, they're it's for each of the projects. So for the first project, Lake Avenue, we're increasing that by $295,000, increasing Fortin Drive by $137,000. And then we're increasing Westwood Park paving by $235,000, and then Heritage Trail paving project by $190,000. Number 4, the town supervisor and the town's financial officers are authorized to take all necessary actions to effectuate the interfund transfer and establish the capital projects as outlined herein. Number 5, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question, a lot of paving going on this year. Very happy to have it. John will be out there with his crews doing it up properly. Okay, on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 20, whereas by letter dated April 28, 2025, William Gummel, Chief of Police for the Town of Lancaster, has recommended the appointment of Captain Jonathan Zeiters to Assistant Chief of Police. This will fill the vacancy in the Town of Lancaster Police Department due to the establishment of the Assistant Chief of Police position. And whereas Jonathan Zeiders is eligible for appointment to this position pursuant to the standards and procedures set forth in the civil service law, now therefore be it resolved that Jonathan Zeiders is hereby appointed to the position of Assistant Chief of Police in the Town of Lancaster Police Department, effective May 6, 2025, contingent upon approval by Erie County Department of Personnel, and that such appointment shall be subject to the applicable provisions of law and subject to the execution of the employment agreement between the Town of Lancaster and Jonathan Zeiders. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Congratulations. Can you guys come up here? We're going to get a picture right now because we got to go into an executive session in a little bit. Thank you.
Do you want me to take them?
Yeah. Very much. See, figured you're all dressed up, so let's get some pictures. There you go. Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Photography.
Okay, we're going to have to do a stipend for Diane for her photo skills here. Will come out of the police budget. Okay, resolution number 21. Councilmember Schroeder, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 21, whereas by letter dated April 23rd, 2025, Carmen Ciccarelli, maintenance crew chief for the town of Lancaster, has requested the purchase of a year-long subscription to Tree Keeper from Davy Resource Group. Whereas the above-mentioned software will be used for managing existing trees and newly planted trees in the town of Lancaster, and whereas the total cost for one-year subscription is $3,600 and will be paid out of the forestry budget line, whereas the town board of the town of Lancaster has previously adopted an operating budget for the 2025 year, and whereas the 2025 operating budget requires the following budget transfer to the forestry budget line, forestry and beautification, to allow for this expenditure. So we'll be transferring $1,100 from other motorized equipment, dues and subscriptions. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves the expenditure of funds as requested by Carmen Ciccarelli, maintenance crew chief for the town of Lancaster, to Davy Resource Group in a total amount of $3,600 for the purchase of a one-year subscription to Tree Keeper. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves and authorizes a budget transfer in the 2025 operating budget in the amount of $1,100 from budget line 018510-234, other motorized equipment, to budget line dues and subscriptions.
And do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 22, whereas by written approval from Director of Administration and Finance, Nicholas Swanson, has recommended adjustments to the town's 2025 adopted budget. Now therefore be it resolved that the following budget amendments be and are hereby authorized in the 2025 adopted budget of the town of Lancaster. Appropriate $200,000 general fund unassigned fund balance to increase budget line 17320-411. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question, basically this money's being moved over so we can pay the Boys and Girls Club the $200,000. We said we were paying them. On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 23. Whereas a need has arisen in the town of Lancaster's Building and Maintenance Department for a vehicle with increased interior storage, and whereas the town of Lancaster Police Department has a vehicle that was set to be declared as surplus and auctioned, which is a 2019 Chevrolet Tahoe, and whereas per a mutual agreement between the town of Lancaster Police Department and the Building and Maintenance Department, they have agreed on a price of $17,000 for the above-mentioned vehicle, and whereas Director of Administration and Finance Nicholas Swanson has approved the request from William Gummel, Chief of Police for the town of Lancaster, for the recommended adjustments to the town's 2025 adopted budget. Now therefore be it resolved that the following budget amendments be and are hereby approved in the 2025 adopted budget of the town of Lancaster, transferring $17,000 from other capital outlay to the police fund. Be it further resolved that budget line 005-5036 will be increased by $17,000 to reflect the receipt of funds. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 24, whereas the town of Lancaster has solicited sealed proposals from qualified firms to provide professional assessment support and valuation services as part of a town-wide reassessment project for the town of Lancaster, and whereas one proposal was received, opened, and reviewed on April 17, 2025 at 10 a.m., and whereas Eric Finbar, assessor for the town of Lancaster, has recommended awarding the proposal to Gar Associates, LLC, real estate appraisers and consultants located at Sweet Home Road in Amherst, now for the amount of $302,500. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute the agreement for professional services between the town of Lancaster and Gar Associates, LLC, appraisers and consultants, to assist with its 2026 reassessment project for a fee not to exceed $302,500 per the fee schedule and terms listed in the agreement, and which will be paid for over the next 3 years with funds available in the assessment, contractual expenses, professional services budget, line item number 1355-410, pending receipt of the appropriate insurance certificates by the town as outlined in the liability insurance section of the agreement, and subject to town attorney approval, be it further resolved that the supervisor and other appropriate town officials are authorized to proceed with the implementation of all steps reasonably necessary and appropriate to implement the terms and conditions of the agreement. Be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to execute the agreement upon receipt and approval of the required documents by the town attorney's office. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. That concludes our pre-filed resolutions. We have one suspended resolution, and I'm asking a suspension of the necessary rules for immediate consideration of the following resolution. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
And on the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Whereas Robert Leary, supervisor of the town of Lancaster, has recommended the appointment of Katie Shepard to the position of assistant to the supervisor in the town of Lancaster Supervisor's Office, and whereas Katie Shepard is eligible for appointment to this position pursuant to the standards and procedures set forth in the civil service law, and whereas pursuant to the white collar collective bargaining agreement in the town of Lancaster personnel rules for employees in the service of the town of Lancaster, adopted February 1, 1971, and subsequently amended and extended by resolution adopted November 7, 2016, Katie Shepard, as a non-represented full-time employee, is governed by the contract of the White Collar Union, and whereas Katie Shepard has completed her probationary period and salary step procedure due to time served in her position as secretary to the supervisor, now therefore be it resolved that Katie Shepard of Lancaster, New York, be and is hereby appointed to the position of Assistant to the Supervisor of the Town of Lancaster Supervisor's Office, effective May 6, 2025, at an annual salary of $59,069, contingent upon approval by Erie County Department of Personnel, and that such appointment shall be subject to all applicable provisions of law and shall be governed by the same terms and conditions as apply to other non-represented, full-time, permanent town employees. And be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question, just want it to be known, Katie Shepard has been filling in miraculously over the last several months for 2 or 3 people that have left the town supervisor's office. She's done a great job, very proud of what she's done, and she's trained herself up for this position. And on the roll.
Councilmember Burkhart.
Yes.
Councilmember Dickman.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to communications by the town clerk. Okay. Communication number 215, Planning and Zoning Committee. 216, Planning and Zoning. 217, Planning and Zoning. 218, received and filed. 219, Planning and Zoning. 220, received and filed. 221, a resolution tonight. 222, resolution tonight. 223 was a resolution back on 4/21/25. 224, resolution tonight. 225, resolution tonight. 226, received and filed. 227, resolution tonight. 228, resolution tonight. 229, Planning and Zoning. 230, resolution tonight. 231, received and filed. 232, Planning and Zoning. 233, resolution tonight. 234, Planning and Zoning. 235, Planning and Zoning. 236, resolution tonight. 237, received and filed. 238, received and filed. 239, Planning and Zoning. 240, received and filed. 241, received and filed. And 242, received and filed. Yeah. Now we move on to the part of the meeting where individuals who want to be heard by the town board can address the town board on any town of Lancaster subject for a total period of 30 minutes. If you want to do that, raise your hand and be recognized by the supervisor. Give your name and address to the town clerk. Speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided. Speak once for 5 minutes or less, unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit. And number 5, any unruly activity, you will be expelled from the meeting. Do we have anybody who wants to address the town board? Yes, sir, come on up.
Chester Popielkowski, I live at 44 Robert Drive. I'm the president of Lancaster Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Just want to say that LVAC is pleased with the new contract with the town, which will mean that LVAC continues to provide best-in-class service to the Lancaster residents as it has for the past 72 years. We also want to thank the town board and pledge to the residents that our sole mission is to continue to service our neighbors and their families whenever they need us. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else want to be, yes ma'am, step up?
My name is Madeline Weiss, and I live at 359 Stony Road in Lancaster. And I just want to speak tonight relative to the amount of traffic that is coming down Stony Road is unbelievable. The semi-trucks, the dump trucks, the heavy haulers, the local people that have heavy trucks that are coming down. I'm not going to mention any names. I think everybody knows who they are in the area. It's becoming unbearable a lot of times to sit. Most of us sit in the front part facing Stony Road. And when we do sit there and open up our windows, it reeks at certain times of the day. Certain times of the day, the traffic, just normal traffic, car traffic, as well as incorporating all the semi-trucks, the dump trucks, and every heavy hauler, every landscaper is down there. Also, I've experienced people telling me, when you just talk to people, like today, this morning I had to go for blood work, and we're talking to two people in Clarence waiting to get in, and they asked where I lived, and we were talking about high school reunions, and I told them Stony Road. They go, oh, that's, you go from one end to the other there, we take it all the time. No, so I'm not here complaining, I'm asking for your help for this. And some of the resolutions that I have discussed with my neighbor, and we just find that maybe more signage needs to be put up on each corner between Walden and Stony, and between Genesee and Stony. Moving the weight sign a little closer so the trucks can see it, because I did experience a truck did back up once he's seen the sign that's on Stony Road. So if you're coming down Genesee and you turn down Stony, well, it might be too late to be coming. Also, there's certain times of the day, like when the business is let out, it's unbearable to even go out there. Nobody walks anymore. I mean, I've been out there 48 years, and I've come to the conclusion I'm not walking on that side street. They're not the nicest people that come out there. They're on my driveway. I called Mr. Fashone's office asking about, they're on my lawn. It's actually sad. I'm getting emotional because I've lived out there for so long and loved it. Tops Warehouse is still not much of an issue, but the odor sometimes on Gunville and Genesee at certain times of the day is awful. So maybe possibly looking into that to see if we qualify for air quality. As same with Harris Hill in Genesee. Sometimes the odor is terrible. I battled cancer and we had to go for radiation treatments at 8 o'clock every morning to Roswell. And it was unbearable. I'd have to leave like a half hour, 45 minutes, because we're so, not to put other patients back. That's not fair to them, which I guess is okay because it's a, bad time to go, but just wanted to put that on the record. Also, maybe lowering the speed limit to 30, because let me tell you, nobody is going 35. They're 45, 50 miles an hour. Mr. Fashone lives on that street. He can verify that. So I'm asking the board to take into consideration to lower the speed limit. And these are only proposed solutions. I don't want to get up here and complain. I want to also make a solution to resolve it. The large semi-trucks, they come down there all the time. But we've noticed that, me and my neighbor, we kind of keep track on it before we came to the board meeting. Between 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m., they seem to be coming down more at that time. So I'm wondering if we could possibly get an increase on law enforcement to maybe come down the road and say, hey, look, you're not supposed to be down here. I made a mistake to make an appointment last week at 5 o'clock to get my phone repaired, and to get off of Stony Road, forget it. I had traffic all down, beeping their horns. A semi came, I was making a left, semi came and was making a left onto Stony from Genesee, nearly missed my car. I ended up making a right-hand turn. It was just too dangerous. So, proposing also on the intersection of Stony and Pleasant View, I see in the town, or the village here, they have a roundabout, and I'm thinking maybe possibly a roundabout, but there is school buses that do still come down my road. So the way I've read up on roundabouts, and I'm a retired New York State employee for the Department of Transportation. I worked at NITEC, where we get the big feeds back from the cameras on the 33 and the New York State Thruway. I'm also familiar, I was also an administrative assistant to the executive director there, and we orchestrated a lot of meetings with the New York State troopers on these semis and the Thruway. So I know a little bit about traffic. I'm not as intelligent. Oh, my time is up.
Sorry. Are you just about done? Does anybody have a question? Finish?
I am, and just cleaning the creeks out on pavement, that's another one. That might be another day or time. I kind of want to do the transportation first, but the creeks are very bad there. They're very bad. They're overgrown. They have white junk growing in it. We took a walk down there. There's garbage all over. People dumping there. I've actually seen it. We call it Third Bridge. People stopping there and looking down at the bridge, and you know, they're walking down there, and I don't know if they're looking to dump, but there's garbage all over. And it's just totally sad to see that. So I'm asking for your support, for help on this. And I'm sure you're well aware of what's going on in Stony Road as well.
Could you do me a favor and send your proposals to one of the council members who wants to
We'll put it on communications.
put it on communications?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you have there?
Yeah, we have copies, we need copies. And I was saying, why don't you make those copies?
Okay, we'll put that on communications. Do I have a board member who wants to follow up on this one? Wants to run with this one at this point?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna end up giving it to Diane, but yes.
Thank you.
Okay. We have anybody on that one? Be happy to follow up with it. Chief?
Yeah.
We'll send some stuff to you as well, so
Yeah, send it
we'll do it
to
as a
Chief
group then.
and
Okay.
John.
Yep, we'll take care of it. All right, so we'll look into your proposals, see what we can do, and get back to you.
So much.
No problem.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you. What do we have? Okay, does anybody else want to address the town board at this point? Yes, sir?
It's okay.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Steve Trano. I live at 221 Aurora Street. I own the barber shop there on the corner. And back 2 Februaries ago, my son was crossing the road and was hit by a car. And the lady had fled the scene. And we were in court 2 weeks ago on Tuesday, and the case was dismissed. It was transferred to Chippewa because there was a conflict of interest with Judge Bumblow being my family court attorney. And the case ended up getting dismissed because the Lancaster PD did not submit the proper supporting affidavit within the proper amount of time. And I'm here today to ask if somebody would look into why this happened. My son was 10 years old at the time, and the lady took off and just got away with it because they didn't file some paperwork. I mean, it sounds absurd to me. So I'm just asking if somebody would look into it and see why this happened, and she just got away with it.
Absolutely. Do we have your phone number? You want to give us your phone, give it to the town
Yes.
clerk after
I would
this, so you
say,
don't have to do it?
afterwards.
Yeah.
And your first name again?
Stephen Contrano.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if you want, here, just write it down. And
Right here. Right.
220-2202.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, does anybody else want to address the town board? Yes, sir.
Real quick, I forgot to thank you and Melissa, Colado, and Judy for Arbor Day in Westwood Park.
It was quite the event.
Sorry, I mentioned it earlier, but you guys were there. Thank you the board. 26 years, Tree City with the town of Lancaster.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, anybody else want to address the town board on any matter? I don't see any more hands at this point, so if we're going to go into executive session, thank you, everybody, for coming. Appreciate it. Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
And a second? And on the roll?
Councilmember Burkhart? Yes. Councilmember Dickman?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.